Hello everyone, my name is Yusmawati. Today I'm going to present about language processing. Let's start.
Well, as we have learned about psycholinguistic, psychology is a study of human's brain and linguistic is a study of language. So one of the goals of psycholinguistic is language processing. Language is ability to communicate through signs and symbols. Signs and symbols. So, when you can speak, you know that you can demonstrate through gesture, you know that you can understand the language through visual or auditory signals. So what the meaning is, you can basically break language up into the sensory components. That's being able to see it and hear it, and the motor components, which is being able to speak it and gesture the language as well. Here you are. Can you see it? Good. Can you read it? Good. Can you understand it? Good. Hopefully. Does that bring some sort of image or experience to the mind? Hopefully it does. What if I would have read it to you? Sunflowers are yellow. And again, does it bring some sort of thought to the mind? Yeah, maybe some flowers in the color. So this is what processing be able to read and hear. Language processing refers to the way humans use words to communicate ideas and feelings, and how such communication are processed and understood. In language processing is considered to be a uniquely human ability because it's not produced with the same grammatical understanding or systematicity in even humans' closest primate relatives. So how do we process language? Now, the speech centers in our brains are Broca's area and Wernicke's area. Broca's area in the left frontal cortex control language production, and while Wernicke's in the posterior temporal lobe analyzes the word you see and you hear, and also places those words in the correct before you speak. What part of the brain is for language? In general, the left hemisphere of the brain is responsible for language and speech that we call dominant hemisphere. The right hemisphere plays a large part in interpreting visual information and spatial processing. This is part of human's brain. This is Broca's area, and this is insular cortex, and this is areas Wernicke's area. So throughout the 20th century, the dominant model for language processing in the brain was the Gershwin Wernicke model, which is based primarily on the analysis of brain damage patients. Now, according to the model, there are two pathways that connect to the auditory cortex to the frontal lobe. Now, each pathway responsible for the different linguistic rules. Now, the first one is the auditory ventral stream. Now, this is responsible for sounds recognition and accordingly known as the auditory Watt pathway. And the second one is auditory dorsal stream. In both human and non-human primates is responsible for sounds localization and accordingly as we know as the auditory wear pathway. In humans, this pathway, especially in the left hemisphere, it's also responsible for speech production, speech repetition, and lip reading, and long-term phonological and working memory. So, the division of the two streams occurs in the auditory nerve, where the anterior branch enters the anterior cochlear nucleus in the brain, which gives rise to the auditory ventral stream. So the posterior branch enters the dorsal and posterventral cochlear nucleus to give rise to the auditory dorsal stream. So language processing can also occur in relation to signed languages or written content.